There's a case up in Weld County. Oh, Weld County. Now there's a piece of work. The mother has a boyfriend. The boyfriend is taking care of the infant. The infant is in the bath. Takes the baby out of the bath, 18 months old, dries her off, and while he's going to clean up what's going on in the bathroom, the little girl, who's accustomed to going up and down the stairs, falls down the stairs, hits some paint cans, gets an injury. They have to call 911. Ambulance comes, child is taken to the hospital, goes to Children's Hospital. Eventually they give her the wrong medication, or they give her too much of the medication. There's malpractice going on. What do they have to do to cover their backsides? Accuse the dad, or the father, the boyfriend. Accuse him of murdering the child. The mother is pregnant with another child. Infant is born, has now been placed in a foster home. Mother gets 1 hour visitation a week. This is supposed to facilitate bonding between a newborn and a mother? Not. So, in order to cover up their mistakes, they deny access to the files. Mother, before the child is taken, before the court assumes custody, assigns guardianship to auntie in Wyoming, and Weld County falsifies affidavits on arrest warrants and arrests the mother and the auntie in order to get the kid back into foster care. This case is ongoing right now. The mother and the child, a newborn infant, are separated. There is no bonding going on, and we are fighting because of the outright, blatant falsifications of records. Weld County is bad. Fremont County in Colorado is bad. A child was removed because of lice. She got the lice at school. She didn't have lice when she left home. She got the lice at school. They take her clothes off of her. They put oily stuff in her hair. They put her in rag clothes from the lost and found. Take a picture and say, this is what she looked like when mom sent her to school. Keep the child out of the family home for more than 6 months because mom refuses to stipulate, to admit to the petition that the child was abused or neglected, because the child wasn't. And her attorney hammers her to sign it. And the guardian ad litem hammers her to sign it. And the guardian ad litem, Anna Hall Owen, says, you're only hurting your child if you don't agree that you hurt your child.
That sounds more like torture and extortion.
It is extortion. These children are hostages. In other countries, when a child is kidnapped and held hostage, it's called an act of terrorism. In the United States, it's called child protection.
Interesting. Give me another case. Can you give me one case where there was a good judge that has good sense and made reasonable rulings? Are there any good judges that you've seen where that at least they weren't so draconian?
No. And the biggest problem is because the judge believes it's okay to err on the side of the child. There is no statute that permits them that discretion. There is no principle or philosophy under our Constitution which says to make a mistake by removing a child from the home and inflicting sure harm on that child by virtue of separating him from his parents is better than leaving a child in the home when we can't find anything wrong.
Can you name a half a dozen judges that have made really bad rulings?
Yes. Julie Marshall, Fremont County. Judge Richard Toth, El Paso County. Judge Cheryl Post, Arapahoe County. Munch, I don't know his first name, up in Jefferson County. Cisneros, Teresa Cisneros, El Paso County. She gave a child to the abusive father who is alienating this infant, or this young boy, he's now 7, alienating him and emotionally abusing him by insisting that his mother is not his mother, by making this child believe that this man's paramour is his mother. And this child is begging to come home constantly.
How old is the child?
He's 7 now. It's been 3 years. And Cisneros put him there with this man.
Why do you say this man is abusive? Do you have any evidence?
Yes, there was domestic violence issues going on in the family. These were part of the separation agreement. The father, not wanting to pay child support, invoked child welfare accusing the mother of abuse or neglect in order to resolve the custody dispute in his favor. A very, very popular tactic, particularly with those fathers who are part of the Damon group, or who are involved with the Damon group.
What is the Damon group?
The Damon group is an underground secret organization of lawyers, experts, and fathers who will do anything and spend whatever they have in order to get the kids away from the mother, including making the mother crazy or making her appear crazy. They are generally controlling and abusive, and this is the mechanism that the courts are allowing to be used. These people who can form this organization to abuse the legal process in order to win, regardless of what's best for the child and regardless for what the truth is.
Now, how did it come to be called the Damon Group?
I don't know. I was informed of the Damon Group by an administrative law judge in Michigan who had exposed it.
What's that judge's name?
I don't have that right here. I'd have to look that up.
Okay. Is there a similar group of women that do that, or do women just already have the upper hand with the court system, divorce industry working in their favor?
Whether a man or woman has the upper hand in a custody dispute has not been demonstrated on a wholesale basis. There are certain jurisdictions where the fathers have the upper hand. There are certain jurisdictions where the women have the upper hand. I don't know if that's due to a lack of training. I would tend to suspect it's more of a personal bias type of a situation. In a situation on a bench where a judge is not supposed to even be exercising any bias, or allowing it to influence his decisions. This part of the symptom of the problem, the judges have too much discretion in these kinds of cases, whether it's a divorce custody, whether it is a child welfare case. The discretion is constantly being abused, and there is immunity. There is no way that a judge can be sued for abusing their discretion. There's no way a judge is going to be sanctioned for abusing their discretion unless it is so blatant that it offends and shocks the national conscience. So for the most part, discretion is exercised very broadly because the judges are given so much discretion and have no accountability for their exercise of it.
Is there any other cases you'd like to discuss? Perhaps a man fleeing from New York.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah, I have been contacted in many cases by parents who are involved in divorce custody situations, frequently when their spouse brings social services into the fray in an effort to resolve the custody dispute in their favor. And in one instance, I did have a father who contacted me from New York and came here from New York with his 2 children, seeking